Hi everybody, Scott here. In this video I'm just going to give a simple process on how we can get in touch with our feelings. Now the reality is, for a lot of us, we're often not in touch with our feelings, and what ends up happening is we end up being controlled or directed from the feelings that we're not in touch with. And so, or another way of putting it is, when we're not in touch with an emotion, it ends up controlling us. Now, anxiety is a common emotion that people try not to feel, and sadness. And I guess the reality is, none of us like feeling negative feelings, period. However, when we don't, they build up, and then we try to suppress them even more. And then they end up controlling us and, in a sense, directing our lives. So this process is taken from the internal family systems model of therapy called Notice, Acknowledge, Welcome, or NAW. If you'd like to practice this as we go along, I'll leave like a pause icon on the screen to as a suggestion to pause it and to do the steps, to do the NAW. And how we do this is, in a sense, we first need to just sit and be still, which can be hard for a lot of us. But that's the first step, is actually just to sit down and be still and start to feel. And the way we do that essentially is we start to notice our body. Our emotions and unresolved emotions are stored in our body. Now that might sound unusual to some people, but if you just think about when the last time you're angry, or when you feel anger, you'll most likely feel it in your body somewhere. Some people feel it in their hands, some people feel it in their chest, some people just sort of feel hot in their shoulders. Or if they're feeling sad, they might feel like a sensation in their stomach. So the idea is to get in touch with the body and sit and just notice it. And that's the first step, is the N is for notice. So we start to notice something that we might be feeling. And in a sense, noticing it is part of the journey of becoming more conscious of it. The next step from noticing is acknowledging it. And a way to do that is to actually put your hand where you're experiencing the feeling, where you're noticing that feeling taking place in the body. So again, if it's in the stomach, on the stomach, you sort of just put your hand there, and in a way, it's like it's tricking you in a way. It's like you're nurturing yourself. It's like, like imagine if you've got a child and they've hurt themselves. You pay attention to where they've hurt themselves. You care about it, and you comfort them. And so that's essentially what we do to ourselves. We put our hand where we're feeling the feeling, and we by doing that, we're acknowledging, okay, I am feeling this specific feeling. And even saying it out loud is, again, another way of helping to bring the feeling to the surface. So say, yeah, I'm noticing a sadness, and I'm feeling it in my stomach. And so that's the acknowledging. It's really sort of saying, yes, I am experiencing this. And the third step, welcome, is we just allow ourselves to feel it. So we just sit with the feeling. And it's almost like, if you're sitting in a chair, it's almost like you just rest into having the feeling, having the experience, which is almost countercultural, or it's very counterculture to Western society. Like, why would I want to feel this feeling? The reality is that we are feeling it. We're just choosing to deny it or suppress it. So by feeling it, we actually we begin processing it. We actually start to process the feeling out of our body. So we just we allow our body to have the experience. We allow ourselves to feel whatever it is that we're feeling. And what you should notice, if you do this for long enough, and it's, you know, you could find it having an effect on you with only a couple of minutes, is you'll notice that feeling begin to reduce. Very different to denying that it's there. It's like it could be like once you start to notice the feeling, it could be like a 6 out of 10 or something like that. And you do the NAW process and it could reduce to like a 3 or a 2. And when that happens, we're going to feel clearer. We'll sort of be able to focus better. We'll feel more comfortable in our own body. And we're going to be thinking better and making better decisions. There's actually a fourth option that I sort of tag on the end of that, which is S, for share. Now that's an option because it might not be appropriate to share it with somebody, or might not have anyone around to share it with, but some people find it helpful actually to talk about what they're feeling. So once they get in touch with it, once they start to welcome it, to go and then share it with somebody can also help with the processing of the emotion. It could sort of be, for some emotions, it could be like a next level processing, actually sharing this feeling with another person, because often when we're hiding a feeling from ourselves, we're also hiding it from the world. We're hiding it from people around us. So when we start to get in touch with an emotion, then we then have the option whether to share it with another person, a safe person. And actually being validated from another person with the feeling that we have is another way of processing that emotion. So thanks for watching. I hope you've found this video helpful and given you some tools or a tool I should say, to get in touch with feelings and emotions, and I'll see you again in another video.